channel French Pulse. Let's enjoy learning French. Today we're going to learn the difference between l'imparfait et passé composé. Both are actions that took place in the past, but when do we use l'imparfait and when do we use passé composé? So, when it's a terminated action, we use passé composé. When it's a repeated action, we use l'imparfait. Let's see what it means. It narrates an action in the past that was completed. That is an action that happened once, a one-time action. Let's take an example. Hier, tu es allé à l'église. This is a one-time action in the past. So an action that is terminated in the past will take passé composé. Whereas a repeated action, a habitual action that was repeated several times in the past. For example, la semaine dernière, tu allais à l'église tous les jours. So tous les jours is giving me an indication that it has to be, it's a repeated habitual action in the past. La semaine dernière is giving me an indication it's an action that took place in the past. Now let's look at the other differences also. To understand this better, you must go through my videos on passé composé and l'imparfait. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand this part. Passe Compose only narrates an action that took place in the past. Let's take an example. Hier, j'ai mangé des frites. Or, Marie est sortie hier. But l'imparfait is a descriptive tense. It describes a state or condition of things, a person's feelings, and weather in the past. So let's take the same example here. Hier, j'avais faim et j'ai mangé des frites. So here we can see the state of being hungry for some time, and therefore what did I do? I ate some French fries. Hier, quand Marie est sortie, il faisait beau. It's describing the weather. Let's look at some more differences. Passé composé narrates an action with a short duration. Let's take an example. Hier, j'ai lu un roman. Whereas l'imparfait emphasizes on the duration of the action and narrates an ongoing action. For example, hier, quand je lisais un roman, this is the ongoing action. I was reading the novel. Mon ami m'a téléphoné. This action of my friend calling me is an action with a short duration interrupting an ongoing action. Right? So actually, l'imparfait in English is the past continuous tense. So when it is was plus verb plus ing, like I was reading the novel. Or when we take another example for plural, it can mean we were reading the novel. So here is the difference between passé composé and l'imparfait. Let's look at the other differences. L'imparfait is used for two simultaneous actions in the past. Let's take an example. Hier, quand je regardais la télé, ma mère faisait la cuisine. So these are two simultaneous actions taking place in the past. Let's look at the words that indicate that we have to use passé composé and some words that indicate that it's a repeated action. For example, words that indicate short action, tout à coup, soudain, brusquement. And words that indicate repeated action in the past, tous les jours, souvent, fréquemment, chaque jour, chaque semaine, chaque mois, etc. Let's do a few exercises to understand the difference between passé composé and l'imparfait. Let's look at some examples. Hier, je allais au parc. It's a one-time action, so je suis allé au parc. La semaine dernière, je allais au parc tous les jours. Tous les jours is giving an indication that it's an action that was repetitive. So, j'allais. L'imparfait will be used here. La semaine dernière, il pleuvoit tout le soir. Weather in the past will be l'imparfait. Il pleuvait tous les soirs. Je regardais un film quand ma mère m'a téléphoné. So, an action which was going on, an ongoing action interrupted by another action. So, je regardais. Regardais, I was watching a film when my mother called me. Quand il était jeune, il nageait chaque week-end. Quand il était jeune, il nageait chaque weekend. This was an action which is repetitive action in the past. Hier, ma mère était triste parce que je échoué à l'examen. State of mind, mother was était triste parce que j'ai échoué. This is going to be a one-time action and we remove this and make it apostrophe. So, hier ma mère était triste parce que j'ai échoué à l'examen. I hope you have understood the difference between passé composé et l'imparfait. Click the link in the description box for exercises on the same. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. Au revoir et à bientôt.